Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
You'll recall a week or so ago, I said somebody sent me a note, very, very upset that I'm always ripping on HOAs, homeowners associations, because Steve, all you ever do is negative stories about them. You should focus on some of the positive stories about HOAs. I said, okay, I will. So here we go. Homeowners living in fear after cars towed from the driveways in the middle of the night and $175 fines issued by Kristen Brown out of the U.S. Sun. A Florida neighborhood has claimed they're victims of predatory tow truck drivers, having been towed without warning from their driveway. And of course, this is all going on in an HOA. One gated townhome community in Florida has turned to the media to seek justice against a tow-happy company that is snatching cars from their driveways in the middle of the night. Fines vary, but people report it costs anywhere from $175 to $250 to retrieve cars from the impound lots, depending on why the car was towed. Without warning from the towing company, townhome resident said her daughter's boyfriend's car was towed from the driveway. At 2 o'clock in the morning, they came out and the car was gone. According to the tow notice, it was due to a quarter of his rear tire touching the street and not the apron, which is where the driveway meets the street. The driveways are reportedly very short and narrow, making it difficult to fully accommodate cars, and many feel like the garage is too narrow for both storage and a vehicle. So vehicles are not allowed on the street, so their only choice is to risk parking in the driveway. Now, one resident told the news agency everybody's in fear. It's like the towing company is traveling through the neighborhood at night, waiting for cars and just looking. Another viewer confirmed this, saying she sees a tow truck waiting and at the ready, often at key parts of the community, staking the place out. A tow truck driver will park down the road, waiting for people to park and snap up cars, or they'll park at the entrance to the community. In just 20 months, the company has towed 114 cars in this community. The towing company has a contract with the community and maintains that its actions do not deviate from the terms of their contract and that residents simply aren't following the rules. Most people use words they don't understand what that word means, said the towing company's owner. What does predatory mean? It means you're going to tow vehicles without a contract. You're going to charge exorbitant fees. Neither of those are existing. We've been in business for 28 years. We have contracts with the community. They have rules. They're enforced. Now, Division Chief of the Consumer Unit and Consumer Attorney Adam Thorson said that while it may be distressful, the towing company is not doing anything illegal. This is largely in part to the HOA having the full legal ability to set and enforce rules surrounding parking and towing as they see fit. So don't blame the towing company. Blame the HOA who's hired them and given them their marching orders. However, residents have the right to challenge events they deem unfair, but it's important they do several things, one of which is put all your communications in writing. Homeowners should also attend board meetings and voice their concerns. And finally, the homeowners do have the ability under Florida statute to sue the association or take their association to court if they feel like the rules are being broken, they're not being enforced reasonably, or maybe that they're being selectively enforced. And I've mentioned before that, of course, HOA is like its own little government, meaning that they have a board that's elected, and if you don't like what they're doing, you can agitate to get a new board in there. I mentioned before that I lived in a condo for a while at one point in time in my life, and I was on the condo board at one point because I was upset with the way the condo board is running things, and went in there and did what I could to help out. So you can try to get this changed, but in the meantime, understand that this place has got a hair trigger on where you park your car. And if a portion of the tire is touching the street and it says you can't park on the street, well, that's how they interpret that. You might get your vehicle towed and you get $250. And so it seems a little harsh, but as the towing company guy says, look, we're just following the rules that they hired us to follow. So your gripe is not with the towing company, it's with the HOA. So I mentioned other stories. I've dealt with HOAs on a few occasions in my life. I don't anymore, thank God. But HOAs, as pointed out by a previous person who communicated with me, there's good ones and there's bad ones. So he said you should do more stories about the good things HOAs do, because obviously there's just as many of those in the news as there are of the bad stories. So here we have a situation with HOA, the HOA of a place, and its homeowners living in fear after their cars are towed from the driveways in the middle of the night, and they're issued fines of up to $250, and that could be simply because somebody parked their car and a piece of their tire was touching the street. And so, again, like I said, I'm an equal opportunity YouTuber. So if they do something bad, I'll do a story. If they do something good, I'll do a story. This is one of the good ones, I think, right? I'm going to get at least one person who's not going to realize I'm joking. They're going to go, Steve, this isn't good. Are you crazy? What are you talking about? Now you're defending HOAs? Yes, I'm defending HOAs. But again, as they point out, there's several things you can do. And the question is, are they enforcing these rules even-handedly? Are they enforcing the rules accurately? What does the rule actually say? And then, does it make sense that they charge you $250 for one tow or $175 for another tow? And if the tows are the same, can they actually change what they charge you based on what your car was doing when they towed it? I'm not quite sure, but there is a disparity between $175 and $250. But you can imagine the frustration going out at 2 o'clock in the morning and your car is gone, and then you realize, even if you realize where it went, oh, the towing company's got it. You still got to go retrieve it, pay money, and do all that. And of course, the tricky part is, are they open at 2 o'clock in the morning? Because they apparently have drivers out at 2 o'clock in the morning, but do they have an attendant who will take your money and give you your car back at 2 o'clock in the morning? They might not. So that's another problem there altogether. So homeowners living in fear after cars towed from the driveways in the middle of the night and $250 fines issued. And by the way, don't forget that in 20 months, they towed 114 cars in just this community. 114 cars in 20 months. So again, this is one of the good ones. Ray, thanks for sending that. Kristen Brown wrote that for the U.S. Sun, and that story out of Florida. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Life is a journey to an unknown destination from which the traveler never returns.